This is the Barbados Today morning news for Monday, December 2nd. Thank you for joining us. I am Marie-Claire Williams. Our top story, the National HIV and AIDS Commission says there is still a lot of work to be done to reduce the stigma against people living with HIV and AIDS in Barbados. Director Jacqueline Wiltshire says even though the number of cases has been on the decline, the level of stigma and discrimination against people who are known to be HIV positive remains a major hurdle. She was speaking after a church service to mark the observance of World AIDS Day yesterday.
We've been working, the National HIV and AIDS Commission and its partners have been working hard to push back that area of the fight against the epidemic, because we recognize that even though there may be treatment that can be effective, unless you get the reduction or the elimination of stigma and discrimination, it's not going to get us out of from where we are. And therefore, even though, yes, I can say that it has been reducing, but there's still a lot more to do, because there are still some pockets of discrimination that we need to address. And I think that if we continue to go from a human rights agenda that every person in this world has the right to be happy and to pursue happiness, no matter who they may be, then I think that it will help people to understand why it can be so harmful when they discriminate and they stigmatize against people for whatever reason which are HIV related.
Preparations are now in high gear for the staging of 2020 We Gathering. Deputy Coordinator Selma Green told reporters on the weekend that a number of Barbadians in the diaspora are looking forward to coming home next year for the event. She says one of the key elements is the ongoing conversations with Prime Minister Mia Mottley.
And she is going to be popping up in a community near you every month to have that conversation. She's already gone to the Darrell Jordan School. She's already gone to the Blackman Gallup School. And of course, she's focusing on the youth, because they are our future. Whatever plans we set now, they are going to take it forward. And it's critical that as we craft the perfect vision of ourselves for 2020 and beyond, we ultimately want for it to be a collective vision, so those conversations are going to be important. Where do you see us as a nation right now? Where do you see us moving to? What's going to be needed to advance us? And more importantly, what part are you going to play in that process as you support government to build a really strong and vibrant Barbados?
More questions about the sustainability of the National Insurance Service. This time they're coming from the Pension Director at Fortress Fund Managers, Renee Delmas, following the launch of a new pension scheme for private sector employees. He says the NIS was also affected by the austerity program, and there are issues to be addressed about its future.
And the fact that the NIS is such a generous benefit, and I'm not saying it's wrong to have a generous benefit, but like everything else in life, can it be sustained? There's no free lunch. There's nothing free. Somebody has to pay for it. And it's to find that balance of an affordable level of benefit commensurate with it being sustained. And that's, I think, the key challenge to NES. And life has become a little bit harder, especially now with the restructuring of the government paper, as the NES fund had a significant allocation in government paper, and that was affected by the restructuring. So there's very much pressure on the national insurance as to how it will evolve to make it sustainable.
The Walker St. Andrew community is this morning still coming to terms with last weekend's murders. Cecil Webb, Terry Small and Jeff Neil Brown were killed in a cutlass attack on Saturday morning. Another man, 70-year-old Cuthbert Mayers, was wounded and taken to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital for treatment. Residents complained that Brown, who they described as a troublesome individual, had an ongoing feud with Webb. Brother of Cecil Webb, McLaren Greenidge, remembered him as a calm and quiet man.
He's a nice guy, very nice guy. He took part in NIFCA. A few years ago, he got first prize, all kind of prizes he get for NIFCA. He's good in wood work, he's very good with the art. But he's a quiet fella, very quiet fella. I was in my bed. When I got the message, I was in my bed. My wife bring the phone to me and tell me, look, she'll call and say somebody just chopped up my brother. And I got up and shower, all that fun.
What were you told happened? What were you told happened?
I thought that somebody chop up my brother. I'm gonna chop up my brother. So I got ready and I met my son. And then I called my next brother and we came down.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Root Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region. The two main political parties in Dominica are into their final days of campaigning ahead of Friday's general elections. The incumbent Dominica Labour Party, led by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, is seeking its fifth consecutive term in office. It is facing a challenge from the opposition United Workers' Party under the leadership of Lennox Linton. The parties held major rallies in various parts of the island on Sunday. The DLP is campaigning on the success of its recovery efforts after Hurricane Maria 2 years ago and has as its slogan, "It is safer with Labour." The UWP, meanwhile, is campaigning for change in government after accusing Prime Minister Skerrit of corruption. A recent poll conducted by CADRES predicted a win for the DLP. However, Director of CADRES Peter Wickham says there is still a large number of undecided voters who could determine the outcome of the election. And on the international scene, Prime Minister of Malta, Joseph Muscat, has announced plans to step down over the probe into a murdered journalist. He said Sunday that he will also ask his ruling Labour Party to begin the process of choosing a new leader for the country. We get the details in this Reuters report.
One of Malta's richest men has been charged with complicity to murder in the 2017 car bomb killing of anti-corruption journalist Daphne Caruana Galizia, deepening a political crisis that could see Prime Minister Joseph Muscat resign. Jorgen Fenech pleaded not guilty in a Valletta court on Saturday to the charge and others related to the case, such as membership of a criminal gang and conspiracy to cause an explosion. Sources briefed on the murder investigation say that police regard Fenech as the mastermind of Caruana Galizia's murder. But he has made it clear he intends to implicate key members of Muscat's government.
I am ready and determined to do everything for the truth to come out.
Immediately after Saturday's hearing, Caruana Galizia's family urged authorities to continue probing who else was involved in the murder. In court filings, Fenech has tried to implicate Muscat's former Chief of Staff Keith Shembry, who was arrested on Tuesday in connection with the murder but released without charge 2 days later. Shembry, a close friend of Muscat's, and former Tourism Minister Conrad Mitzi both resigned on Tuesday. They have denied any wrongdoing. Caruana Galizia had reported that Shembry and Mitzi owned secret companies in Panama. Leaked emails indicated that those same companies intended to earn money from an offshore company called 17 Black. Last November, an investigation by Reuters and the Times of Malta showed that 17 Black was owned by Fenech. There is no evidence that funds were ever transferred to Mitzi and Shembry, and Mitzi has denied any connection with 17 Black or the murder.
That's news, but for the very latest, you can visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also find us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good morning.